Okay guys, so the Comic Con I went to was very much a local affair, so I wasn't expecting a massive amount from it, to be perfectly fair. Not that it was going to be terrible or anything like it, so it's just a bit like if you ordered your Comic Con off of a Wish, that sort of thing. It was done in a local field, at a local events place, and it wasn't too bad. Now, to be fair, the kids weren't overly interested when I told them what we was going to, and they also didn't really understand. I think one of them thought Comic Con was a place where you just bought comics, or where they sold comics. And the kids are more interested in gaming than they are that sort of thing. So it's more of a case of just a bit of a day out, seeing a bit of the sunshine and doing something different. I did say to them you might see some Dragon Ball or Kirby or Pokemon stuff there, because that's really what they're into, is more the gaming, Xbox and Nintendo stuff. Now, it basically consisted of a field with a few tents with some people inside, so there were a few celebrities there, about 5. The main one was Chris Barry out of Red Dwarf, who plays Rimmer, and he was also in the thing called the British Empire. He had quite a long queue of people waiting to see him, and then there were some younger people out of things like Game of Thrones and that sort of stuff, which had either very small queues or no queues at all because nobody knew who they were. So it was a bit weird. And then the rest of it was outside stalls selling bits and bobs, exceedingly overpriced bits and bobs. Obviously, because of where they were, they thought they could take the piss and have really expensive stuff for sale. So the kids did buy a few bits of some Pokemon cards, Dragon Ball cards, and a couple of plushies. But otherwise, a lot of the stuff was very, very expensive. So the kids sort of were more interested in the stands than they were seeing the characters. It was nice to see people walking around, people making the effort, people dressed up, that sort of stuff. People, the kids, especially with kids all dressed up and that. I mean, we weren't, because my kids sort of like, well, their dress up stuff sort of Mario, really. Although I did have on my Hawaiian shirt, which if you know the pattern, it's from 2 things. It's from Magnum. Magnum wears exactly the same shirt. It's also from the second Sonic film. The Donut Lord, the guy who's looking after Sonic, in the second film he wears the Hawaiian shirt to the wedding, or to the wedding party of his girlfriend's sister, and it's exactly the same shirt. So I could use that as an excuse for a minor bit of cosplay. Was I wore the shirt that was in Sonic 2.
Welcome to Sonic Air, the fastest way to travel. Now boarding groups 1 and 2.
Oh, Sonic!
Now, there was also a stage with a band and a fox singing, which is quite funny. Few bits of robots and things walking around, so there was some nice interesting stuff to see. It's the sort of thing that was only there for about a couple of hours at the most, because the kids, as they got bored quite quickly. They did perk up interest when they found the gaming bus and went and had a quick game on that and played some retro games, stuff like that. But otherwise, it wasn't a bad day out, to be fair. It's just nothing like a proper Comic Con, which is done in the conference hall. Those are on a different level altogether, and completely different. Now, on a weird note, secondly, on the way home, I managed to find a heart. I found love. Well, okay, not quite. But I did find a heart. Or should I say, I found a heart. The heart found me. And no, it's not like the red balloon from It. I.e., I didn't find a red balloon and think, oh, I'll chase that, look down a storm drain and find Pennywise staring back at me. That wasn't the case. It was more of a case of, it found me, and I thought, I've got to bring it home, really. It's, don't know, could mean something, it could mean nothing. It was just weird. But I will do a reenactment as to how I found it. Okay, so this is a totally accurate recreation of what I did when I dropped the kids off and I was on my way home. I drove the car. This is my car, obviously. really, promise. I'd driven along, I parked at the side of the road, stopped the engine, and I checked the phone for messages and a quick check of Facebook. As I was doing that, I was sitting there and this balloon started going along the side of the road on the path. And I noticed it and I thought, that's odd, you don't ordinarily see a heart-shaped balloon on the path, never mind. But I kept my eye on it going around. I thought it was a bit romantic, it's quite nice. And it started moving around and I thought, nah, I can't be bothered to get out and get it, although it is quite nice. But I'll watch it. So I did, and as I was watching it, it sort of worked its way around in front of me on the road and then went around this side and sort of went off a little bit. And I thought, well, it's too far away. If it comes close enough to the door, I'll just open the door and I'll get it though. And of course, luckily, it sort of went da-da-da-da-da-da, got a lot closer, so I thought, oh, sod it. So I opened the door, I jumped out quickly, gotcha, grabbed it, and then I decided to take it home with me in the car, which obviously it did fit. It wasn't, this clearly isn't quite to scale, as you can see. So of course, being the sentimental, weird type of idiot that I am, I thought, that's really nice, I'll keep that, because it might have some significance, it may not, but it hasn't gone down yet, I've had it for a few days, and I haven't burst it and I haven't squashed it, so, but yeah, I don't know, it's just one of them things you see it and you think, I don't know, I'll have it. Some people don't like balloons though.